안녕하세요. JK 한국어입니다. Today is the final lesson of Batchim. So finally we're gonna see double consonant Batchim. While you're studying Korean, you see some Korean letters that have two final consonants in one syllable. We call it 겹받침. 겹받침 looks complicated, but no worries. It's actually very simple if you know the tip. Let's get into it. In Korean, technically there are 13 겹받침, but except these two, double 시옷, double 기역. What you need to know is 11. Then do you have to remember all of these 11?
No.
Of course not. What you have to remember is only 3. Because there are two ways of pronouncing these 겹받침. If you take a look here, these 8, we pronounce only first one. And these last 3, we pronounce the second one. So just try to remember these 3. Except these 3, we pronounce the first consonant, right? So let's see one by one how we can really read these. First one, there is a letter which has this 받침. This one we read only first one, so we read it as 실, 실. The second one as well. So only first one, the second one we don't pronounce. We just have to remove this and read it as 넉. And third one, this one as well. The second consonant is removed. So we read this letter as 안. And fourth one, the second one is removed and we read it as 안. And the next one, somehow it seems like we have to read it as 덜b. In this case, we have to read only first letter. But as you know, one syllable make only one sound of the 받침. So we read it as 덜, 덜. And the next one, it's exactly same, right? So second consonant of 받침 is removed and we read it only first consonant of 받침. So we read it as 할, 할. And next one. So it's exactly same again. We read only the first 받침. So we read it as 갑, 갑. And the next one. This is the same. So second consonant of 받침 is removed and we pronounce only the first one. We read it as 골, 골. And let's take a look those last 3. This one we have to pronounce only second consonant of 받침, right? So first one, let's read this one. So first consonant of 받침 is a mute. We don't read it. And we read only the second one. So we read it as 닭, 닭. And the second one, same thing. So we don't read 리을 sound. And we read only the second one. So we read it as 삼, 삼. And third one. So we pronounce only the second one. We pronounce it as 읍, 읍. However, when we read them with the other letters together, that's a different story. Pronunciation depends on the following consonant, right? When this letter is placed in front of circle consonant which doesn't have a sound value, the second 받침 is pronounced with the next syllable. So even though we have to read only first consonant of 받침, the second one is carried over to the next syllable. In other words, first consonant of 받침 can be pronounced as a final consonant, and the second consonant of 받침 can simply move across to the next syllable. Let's see those 3 examples. First one. The first letter has double 받침, 겹받침. If we read as it is, it has to be 갑, because we pronounce only the first consonant of 겹받침. But right now it's followed by circle consonant. So second consonant of 받침 is transferred to the following circle position. And we read it as 갑시, 갑시. In the second example, exactly same thing. So first letter has 겹받침, and we have to read only first consonant of 받침. And the second one carries over to the following circle position. So we read it as 넋이, 넋이. And third one is exactly same. We read only first 받침 and the second one carries over to the following consonant position. So we read it as 읽어요, 읽어요. There are more examples, but they are different because they are followed by 다 instead of circle, right? So let's see first one. As you know, we have to read only the first consonant of 받침, right? And the second one carries over to the following consonant. But in this case, there is no circle, so that's why there is no space to make the real sound. So in this case, following consonant becomes tensed instead of we are just making s sound. So we read it as 없다, 없다. So there is not actual s sound, the second consonant of 받침, right? 없다. So let's see the second example. The first letter has 겹받침 and is followed by 다. So this 겹받침, we have to pronounce only the second one. Second 받침 is 그 sound. And this 그 sound 받침 is followed by 다. It has to be tensed. So we have to read it as 늙다, 늙다. And the third one. This 겹받침 is also same. So we have to read only the second one. And this mu sound make following the sound tensed. So we have to read it as 삶다, 삶다. And the fourth example here, it has exactly same 겹받침 as the previous one, right? And the fourth consonant is removed. And the second one, we only pronounce this one, and it's followed by 다. And 다 sound is tensed by this one. So we read it as 젊다, 젊다. And let's see the last one. Let's guess which one you have to pronounce. First one or the second one? Yes, you're right. First one. So the second one is removed. We don't really make a pronunciation of this one, but this one make following the sounds tensed. So we have to read it as 앉다, 앉다. There is no z sound, right? 앉다. That's it. That's all you have to know about this 겹받침. And also now you finish all of 10 lessons about 받침. And I believe now you can read Korean more freely and accurately. Okay, then let's practice how to read this 겹받침. Please read it correctly. 여기 앉아서 닭도 먹어요. 여기 앉아서 닭도 먹어요. 젊은 사람하고 늙은 사람이 책을 읽어요. 젊은 사람하고 늙은 사람이 책을 읽어요. 일이 많아서 제 삶이 없습니다. 일이 많아서 제 삶이 없습니다. 댓글에 남겨주세요. Leave your answer in the comments below. Thank you. Have fun. 감사합니다. 다음 시간에 다시 만나요. 안녕.